All right, here we go. So almost ready to start this thing. I have everything hooked up that I believe is needed just to start the car, and then we'll start adding some stuff on that I want to test. Right now I just want to make sure that the engine runs, the transmission works, and my custom little shifter setup works, and probably go from there. We'll test the taillights, the hatch release switch, the keyless entry sensors, a bunch of other random stuff. What I'm going to do now is run fuel through this just to kind of prime it and get all the air and dirty contaminants, whatever's inside that line out, just from cutting this and playing with it, and it's sitting around and stuff can build up inside there. I already did shoot air through the entire fuel system, but I'm going to run fuel through it just to be safe. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is just, I guess, run power to it, see if it illuminates, and then try to start it, see what happens. I do have the full exhaust on right now too. I'm excited to see how that sounds. Yeah, let's get to it. Alright. Heard something kick on. Alright, so I put power to the fuel pump and I primed the system and dumped out a bunch of fuel, contaminants, whatever, into this. So I got about half a gallon, I'd say, probably. Reconnected it. Now what I'm going to do is make sure I actually have oil pressure with that oil relocation kit. If you plumb it backwards, you won't get any pressure, and if this thing runs without pressure, then I might as well go buy a new engine or plan on rebuilding it. So we're going to check, make sure we have oil pressure, and then we should be good to go to start it. All right, so I confirmed oil. I got oil out of my relocation filter kit going into the block, so I got it going through the filter, back over and up. We're good there. Fuel in the lines, that's all hooked up. Now I just need to hook the injectors up, reconnect them, and it should start. All right, here we go. Okay, so now that I know that it runs, let's start testing some stuff out. So I want to test the front turn signals, the headlights, the rear hatch switch I already know doesn't work. The button up here doesn't work, and the little release button I added here doesn't work. I'm not exactly sure why yet. I have good ground to it. I ohmed out the release switch from here all the way to the body control module, and the fuse is also good down there, so I'm just not entirely sure. I don't know if I have to do like some type of programming for that or not. So yeah, we'll get back to that, but for now let's check out these headlights and stuff and make sure that like the turn signal switch works, and maybe we'll check out the wiper motor and the windshield wiper fluid pump. So I do have one problem right now, and that is the thickness of, I guess, this firewall and how everything is bolted up. I actually need to shorten the brake pedal assembly to make it closer to the firewall to put more pressure on the switch. As you can see right now, it's lit up, and that should only be lit up when you go to press this in, so that way you know, it's telling it, hey, I'm ready to start. So right now it should close that switch and cut that light off to be able to go into accessory mode. Right now, if I wanted to start it on, I have to click that button, and my brake pedal isn't pressed down yet. So what I've been doing is, you know, just pushing this back, and then you can see my light is gone. I have it pressed in, so I'm gonna press this one time. So I went ahead and pressed that. Lights are flashing. This is accessory mode. Alright, that was a pain to try to keep that held down and press the button at the same time. So I put a piece of, like, I don't know, rubber or some type of tubing that I found up in there just to put more pressure up on the switch. So now it'll have pressure on the switch, and then my light is gone. So now I can press it one time. It should go in accessory mode. And actually disconnected this. This thing should be screaming at me right now. Oops. Alright, just like that, we got power. So the door ajar stuff, I'm just gonna have to, I just haven't gotten there yet. I have to run another circuit from here up to the top to a light, and then add in the S550 stuff so it knows when the doors are open and closed. Accessory power, go ahead and click OK. Driver door, passenger door, trunk, steering, yup, tire low, blind spot. We're gonna get rid of that somehow, same with the cross traffic. And I believe that's it, I guess. No other stuff, I don't know. Alright, so I have my light switch here right now. Well, actually, before we turn that on, right now it's off. I should have my daytime running lights. And I do. So those like 3 little like lines in the headlights for the Mustang, that's what's powering those right now. So go ahead and turn the lights on. The lights turn on. I know it looks a little weird. That one's a lot higher. I just don't have these bolted in right now. They're just kind of thrown in there. So now we have the halos and the headlights on. And looks like our turn signal lights are also on both sides. Let's go ahead and turn the turn signal on. Let's see, it works there. It's going a little bit fast because the rear isn't connected, but it is working. I'm pretty sure, at least. Maybe it does pulse that fast. I don't know. Try the right side. Perfect. Alright, what else do we have? So, wiper motor. Turn that on. Yep, so that's spinning. That actually has the shaft for these wiper arms, so it'll bolt up. I just don't have it in place right now just because we're kind of testing. But that is capable of bolting up to these arms, and then they'll go into the factory locations. So we'll go ahead and turn that off. So right there, and then the pump should kick on it if I push this forward. Or maybe it's back. Yeah, it's back. Pump kicks on. Sweet, that works. Probably gonna end up redoing this box. I don't like the way this is just loose right now, but I don't like the way I did this. I think it looks like crap. I think I can actually add more room to it. I did test it though with it completely full and just full blast, like it stays on the entire time. I think I got like 50 seconds or something of fluid, so actually not that bad. And then depending on your nozzle size too, that was just a wide open line, so it may last longer with a smaller diameter nozzle tip. All right, so those work. What else do we want to try? Yeah, so the trunk switch doesn't work. Oh, maybe it's working now. Huh. Let's go ahead and lock this real quick. So I'm just gonna lock that. And we should hear it unlock. I'll press this button. Oh, it works. Huh. Yeah, it didn't work earlier for me for some reason. I wonder if the back switch will work. Let's try this again. Alright. Got that locked. No. Back switch still doesn't work. So we'll have to look into that. I'm pretty happy with everything though so far. The car starts, it runs. Everything in the front works. The tail lights work. I already tested those. So if all I have to worry about is that switch in the back, I think I'm pretty happy about that. I think I'm good to go. Gas pedal obviously works. We tried that out. I'm trying to think. I did have the touchscreen in here. That's one other thing I wanted to test was the HVAC. So I think I'm probably going to throw that in there next and see if we can get the HVAC to turn on. Alright, I got the little dash touchscreen in here. I'm just kind of messing with this HVAC and it sounds like it's working. Here we get faster and faster. Yeah, it's definitely blowing air. Turn that down. Let's do just the top. Which I don't have any of the vents in the dash right now, so it's just kind of going everywhere. But pretty strong. Yeah, so it's definitely blowing. Alright, so I'm just kind of playing with the shifter a little bit. Backup camera. It does look like the backup camera works. I'm still not sure if I'm even going to use this. I just do not know where to put it. Thought about maybe putting it right here, but I don't think there's enough room for that to like snap in there and still work. My taillight panel I'm using, there's no room for that, and I really do not want to redesign that. I already have hundreds of hours into the back of this, so I don't want to redo it, and it's already printed and ready to go for the most part. So yeah, I don't know, I'm not sure. It'd be nice to have it inside here, and I mean I could probably do that, just not a fiberglass guy, so I don't know. All right, so one thing I was looking at with this shifter, this is, you know, obviously a custom shifter. It's out of an F-150. This is all Mustang setup. The wiring does work. So the safety switch works. So reverse. I'm just gonna watch it go through this. Neutral. Drive. And this is where it's a little weird. See, it's like kind of in between this gate right here, where it finally kicks into drive, and then sport. I'm not sure what's going on here. It should be able to go back further right here into this slot, but it's not. So I'm not sure yet on that. I'll have to play with it. Alright, so something else I need to test is to make sure the alternator is charging and to make sure that these fans kick on. So we're gonna go ahead and start this back up. Alright, so the voltage is working, but this is low oil pressure. I don't like that. Alright, so still saying low oil pressure. I checked the voltage down at my oil pressure sensor, and I do have voltage there. So I'm thinking that the sensor's probably just bad. I went to manually test it with ForeScan to see if I had pressure before I started the motor, and it wasn't showing anything at all. So I'm wondering if that sensor just failed. So probably going to order a new one. I'll throw it on. I'm going to take this one off and see if I can bench test it. But yeah, for now, that's pretty much it. We're going to continue testing a few things. I'm going to get the hatch to work. I need to figure out how to test these keyless entry sensors, and probably do something with the camera. Figure out why also this light isn't on right now since the hatch is open. Actually, yeah, so now it's open. Still no light though. And then reverse lights. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I think it couldn't have gone better, to be honest. All those wires that I cut up, and I mean, it was a lot of wires, all of it. I mean, everything was rerouted, cut up, extended. I mean, there was a lot of work. I want to say probably 4 or 5 days of just crawling on the floor and just stretching stuff out and identifying connectors and trying to figure out what I wanted to keep and what I didn't want to keep. And, you know, it's a lot of work for sure.